Hello my dear friends, welcome on my channel. This is a PaintyKat. My name is Catherine and today I wanna demonstrate to you my new tutorial. This is a demo version of this painting, real-time tutorial with all explanations how to mix colors, what brushes to choose. You can find on my Patreon. Just follow link below and you have all information there. What we going to paint in this tutorial, it's a kind of interesting idea in my opinion. We will combine two kinds of brush strokes together in one composition, and as you can see now, I'm painting with just a vertical brush strokes. This is important because first layer, actually the view of the city we're creating in a very soft and blurry way. It's how we actually can see city far from us, in front of us, when rain following, right? This is a view of my city where I'm living at the moment. This is St. Petersburg, and this place kind of, popular. Many tourists there, and also you can check so many photos of this place in a city in internet. This is a cathedral, safe on blood calling. Historical place of the city, and I really like this view because cathedral just awesome. We starting with very grayish, not that bright colors. Paints I'm using today. This is a artistic gouache. This paint's unique because of finish. It's have a matte finish when it's completely dry, and also when gouache dried, it's have so special pastel look, because all colors after it dries, it's looking little more white and softer, less contrasted than when you painting when it's still wet. I like this paints very much because it's not that expensive as oil, but it's have the same coverage and techniques we can use just the same as with oil. So it's a very nice way to learn how to use oil paints in the future. Also, nice idea about paper. We have so many types, I like to use cheap watercolor paper as well, because that means we're not that greedy about amount of paper we're using for our dries, right? If paper not expensive, we can go for 1, 2 and 3 dries even. If each list of paper really expensive, I will think twice about what I'm going to paint. But when you learning something, amount of tries really means a lot. So if you learning, pick up not that expensive paper, but with a good enough quality. And some of paper have a very special canvas texture. It's really looking as a canvas. So together you can combine canvas, textured paper plus gouache. It can be acrylic as well. But personally, I just adore gouache for its finish. So together with these two materials, you can get a really oil-looking final result. Also, gouache possible to cover with a finishing sprays, so it can have glossy, half glossy or matte finish as you like. After gouache completely dried, you can spray it and finish can be again glossy, very close to oil. Now I'm not explaining that much about what I'm doing on a paper, but again guys, you can follow my Patreon and find there a real-time tutorial with all explanations about technique and colors. I don't want to just, repeat it twice. As you can see now, we're almost done with the background, with the cathedrals and a building there. And we're going to the middle ground and a foreground. But painting, still the same. It's a vertical strokes. My brush kinda big now, not small at all. Can be even bigger. It depends of size of paper you're working on. Mine, it's an A4 size, not big, but also not small. Why I recommend to use this size, not less, because amount of detailizations really depends from the size. So be sure pick up not less than A4. Also about sketches. You can find all sketches of my tutorials on a Patreon as well. As for myself, I like to split my working process on two parts. First, it's a sketching and sketch transferring on a paper or canvas. Then I'm having a break. Usually it can be even a day or more. And I'm starting to work with the paints, with the color, only when I'm feeling myself really rested. Because tutorials usually taking not less than at least 1 hour. That's mean this first hour most productive. It's most important to learn, when we're learning something new. So this first hour of work really precious for us. If we're learning how to work with a colors and brushes, type of brushes, technique of paints, we have to concentrate on it, right, on this process. But if we have to sketch first and then transfer, it's already taking 30-40 minutes from the start. So we already tired to the moment when we're opening our paints. So think about it, maybe it will work for you as well. Use ready sketches from my Patreon page, or again split your working process on two parts as well with a break between it. We almost done with the background part. It's an asphalt on a foreground, and look coverage of gouache now, not that nice, especially on a center of the road, because there I have a person walking with an umbrella. Umbrella I'm planning in a red color, and why I put not thick layer of gouache there, because it's giving me ability to see sketch lines through the gouache. Why I also like this kind of paints, because we can paint it with a high coverage, close to oil techniques. Also we can even use palette knives with gouache. But another side of these paints, we can make it really liquid, watery, and use close to watercolor techniques. So sometimes when you want to keep your sketch lines visible for you, for example, it's some people there, it's buildings, it can be really interesting and detailed sketch, you can put first layer half transparent and after, when you're starting to draw all details and shapes, you can see your sketch lines very clear. It's a handy, just a handy. I have here black poles and city lights. Here I'm already using the black color. Personally, I don't like it. I better prefer to mix cobalt blue plus burnt umber to get color close to black. I like it more than just a clear black. Clear black really taking a lot of attention from our view because it's giving us the best contrast on a composition. So be careful with it. Use it in the end, when you're starting to detail. It's a black pole on a foreground, for example. And the last step here, and a tricky part, I'd say, it's water drops. I really wanted to create effect, rainy window maybe, or maybe it's a view from your photo camera when you're looking inside of a frame in a photo camera, and you can see blurry wet city with the rain falling and some water drops on a glass of your photo camera. This effect, in my opinion, it's really, giving a mood, those special autumn mood when colors not that bright, not that summer looking. It's more gentle, some greens, some browns, and very contrasted and detailed water drops. How to create them? First, of course, it's a contrast between blurred, soft background, soft city that we already created, and really contrasted and detailed water drops on a foreground. First, I blend it with white gouache. It's a titanium white now because titanium usually have better coverage. So on a first step of water drops, I blended well where and what size of drops I want to see here on my composition. And on the next step of these drops, I'm using really dark color. This is not a black yet. Again, be careful. Use black, best contrast effect between black and white only in the end, when you already sure in each drop you created. Now I'm working with a mix. It's again cobalt blue plus a little bit, can be a little bit ultramarine, but mostly it's cobalt blue plus black plus white. So it's a dark bluish gray. And darkest part of the drop have to be on top of each drop, and lightest part have to be on the bottom part of each drop. And a dark circle, thin circle, going all around of each water drop. Yes, it's a lot of painting, a lot of time needs to create these drops one by one, and for each drop you have to pay attention to create light and a shadow and a circle around. Again, light on the bottom side, shadow on a top side of each drop, and a circle around. But in the end, effect will be really awesome. You can check ready painting on my Patreon, and you can understand the final effect that you possibly can get following this tutorial. Also, you can see on the left side, you can see here stripes, long stripes. It's a water falling on a glass, because sometimes, you know, drops can fall down on a glass and giving this kind of watery roads. And yes, create that many drops as you want to see here. Some drops, check, have no black parts. It's just a white, very tiny, and I'm blending it a little bit with a dry brush. Just a blending a little bit, that's it. I'm done for today, my dear friends. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, don't be shy to ask me. It was a PaintyKat, and I wish you all the best.